you go.
Hello, and welcome to episode 149. That's almost 150, you'll note, if you know your maths, of Heroes of Handheld. My name is Chris. That man over there is Colin. Each week, we give you the premium, the best online podcast, everything dedicated to all your handhelds, your Vitas, your 3DSs, your mobile games. It's got a little bit of everything, really. We do all the things. My name's Chris. His name's Colin.
Hi, we do the things.
I've not seen you in ages. Ha 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 ha.
It feels like over 48 hours ago. It was nice to see you though earlier this week. Let me say, me and Chris met in the center of the universe, which is of course London town. But I am a bit unhappy with Christopher because I was brought up to London with the condition and the lure. Well, I said lure. That's a funny reference to what I'm about to say. The lure that there would be rare and fantastic and amazing Pokemon to catch. I travelled on the tube. I travelled from the outskirts of London into the centre, and all I could find was Pidgeys everywhere. Where were these rare Pokemon you were talking about, Chris?
I don't want to make you jealous, but I caught a Snorlax today in Central.
That's not even a thing. You can't catch a Snorlax.
I just
assume that you could. Where was he? Just chilling.
Completed it, mate. I caught it at it was near work, and I just got it. I mean, it's not very high level, but it is a Snorlax. So stuff you. That's what I say.
But then again, if it's not a high CP, what's the point? Just set it free. Set it free, mate.
Grind it up into candies. Have you been? What have you been playing?
What have I been playing, Chris? Well, I've actually been playing Everybody's Golf. Do you remember this game from PlayStation Vita back? Well, so Everybody's Golf was a launch title for the Vita back in the day, and I have mentioned it on the show many times before over the years. But I decided to start playing it again. I haven't played it in ages. I do love golf games, and seriously, that game is absolutely fantastic and addictive. If you love golf games and you haven't played Everybody's Golf, I mean, it's been on PlayStation Plus loads of times. It's always on sale on the store, so there's no excuse really. You get a lot of content for your money. There's loads of different game modes you can play online as well. It's just a lot of fun, and the different courses are all very varied, and there's lots of hazards you have to avoid. And it's just a very pretty game. It's very clever. A lot of thought has gone into it, in my opinion. So I've been playing that on my Vita. Really been enjoying it as well. Another thing I've been playing, actually, so I think it was last year this game came out. Now, as you know, Chris, I'm a big fan of the Telltale games. I am. So I heard about a new episodic adventure called Life is Strange, which came out last year, and I'd never played it before. I mean, I'd wanted to. It was on my radar, but things got in the way and I just forgot, basically. But I noticed last week that the first episode is actually free on Mac on Steam. So it's very recently been brought to Mac. I think it was last month it released. And the first episode, there's 5 episodes in total, and the first episode is free on Mac. So I decided to download it, and I played that last week, actually earlier this week, and it's really, really good, really intriguing. And I think it's a really clever idea making the first episode free of any episodic adventure like this, because if the creators and the writers are good at what they do, and if they're clever and smart, then they'll know to make it a really engaging, really addictive episode that really catches your interest and makes you want to purchase the whole lot. So, I mean, to buy all the other episodes, it's £16, $15.99, which isn't too bad, actually, in my opinion. But in terms of Life is Strange, it's a really interesting concept. So you basically play as a girl called Max, who's a photography student at college or university, so one of those two. Anyway, and the interesting mechanic of it is that you have the power. I had the power. You have the power to actually rewind time, which is the thing that sets it apart from other episodic adventures. That's the not the gimmick, but that's the
that's like her thing, isn't it?
That's the thing. You can reverse time. So if anything happens, so I mean, the difference is when you are playing a Telltale game, if you decide a conversation option or you do an action and you make a choice, because there's a lot of decisions you have to make, you're stuck with that choice. You can't change it unless you start the whole playthrough again. But in Life is Strange, if you make a decision and you're not happy with it, you can rewind time and choose the opposite decision. So it's really interesting. I mean, you can only rewind time within a certain time frame. So, for example, if you made the decision at the beginning of the game and then you get to the end of the game and you decide you want to change it, you can't do it. It has to be within the same sort of time frame. And it's really cool because when you make a decision, you sort of, your character has these thoughts which you hear and you say, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. If I did it this way, I could have done this. So you really have to think whether you want to keep your decision or go back, rewind time and try again, which is a really interesting idea. And I mean, it took me a little bit of time to get into the first episode. It's about 2 hours long in total, or maybe a bit longer than that.
But is that, hang on, 2 hours the whole game or 2 hours the first episode?
The first episode. So when I first started, I was a bit unsure. I mean, I liked the game mechanic, but, you know, it wasn't the best. I mean, actually, compared to Telltale, it runs as smooth as butter compared to Telltale games, I'll tell you. Really, barely any frame rate issues, barely any slowdown. It's just a marvel. That's how these sort of games should be done. I don't know how Telltale still have managed to perfect that. But anyway, by the end of the game, I was absolutely hooked, and it pretty right at the end, I'm not gonna say what happens, but a big thing happens, and you realize what the whole series is going to be about, and that's where it ends. And you're like, no, don't end there. Oh my god, I can't believe it ended there. So it really is. It's pretty much. I need to get that meme of Fry from Futurama saying, shut up and take my money, because that's pretty much how I feel. So I'm going to be paying for the rest of those episodes. But really enjoyed the first episode, Life is Strange. And if anyone out there hasn't played it and you like the Telltale games, I think you're really going to enjoy it. It's very cool. A lot of decisions you'll have to make, which will affect your future playthroughs. There's something called the butterfly effect, obviously. So if you make a decision, it tells you that this will affect things going forward. But if you don't like your choice, you can change it, which is really interesting. So that's what I've been playing this week.
Can I tell you a good Life is Strange story?
Have you played it?
No, I haven't. A lot of people in my social media spheres are talking about it a lot. But one guy who my friend Jeff, who does sometimes listen to this podcast.
My name's Jeff.
Good one. He tweeted out. He tweets a lot about games, and he tweeted something like, "It's so hard to know what to do sometimes. It feels like everything you do is the wrong decision." #Life is Strange.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
About the game. And someone was like, I can't remember what they said, but they replied like, "Oh my god, Jeff, hope you're all okay. Let me know if you need to chat." And he had to be like, "No, it's about a video game."
Did he reverse time and delete the tweet?
Oh, you wish, wouldn't you?
Yeah, really, that is exactly what the game is like. Like, no matter what decision you make, you feel like you've made the wrong decision. So the game sort of pressures you to keep changing your decision, which is really interesting. A few times I've had to ignore some what my character said. No, I'm sticking with that decision. I want to stick with it. So it's a really interesting idea, and I've really been enjoying it. So I'm going to be playing more of that, and hopefully have more to say about that next week. Anyway, what have you been playing this week, Chris? Oh my god, Chris is frozen. But oh no. Basically, we do this on Google Hangouts and we extract the audio for the podcast form. And I can see Chris's little thumbnail on my Google Hangout page, what I'm looking at now. And seriously, the image of him is absolutely fantastic. It looks like he's mid-sneeze or mid-cry. I'm trying to screenshot it, but it's not allowing me to do that. So you know what? We're going to move on and go straight into some news. Otherwise, we're going to be doing the show right into the early hours. So a few things just wanted to talk about straight off the bat here. So this is going to be separate from our actual news section, but just a few things that have come out in the world of PlayStation this week. And the first one is that Sony and PlayStation have announced that PlayStation Plus is getting a price increase. And this has been confirmed for September. So it's going to be going up from next month. I believe it's going up by about $10. Let's have a look. So starting on the 22nd of September, prices for PlayStation Plus members will change to $60 or 70 Canadian dollars for 12 months, or $24.99 US dollars and $29.99 Canadian dollars for 3 months. So it also should be noted that those who buy the current membership plans before the change date will be spared the increase. So there you go. So apparently this is only happening for our friends in North America. There isn't going to be a price increase in the UK. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit of an odd one. I'm not surprised they put the price up, really, but I just hope this means that the games that they bring to PlayStation Plus are going to be better, because I know a lot of PlayStation owners have been very unhappy with their PlayStation Plus titles over the past year or so. A lot of people are actually really unhappy about that. But it's good to know that this isn't happening in Europe.
But it will happen in Europe eventually.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe it's all down.
It's got to come this way.
Yeah, or maybe it's all down to the whole Brexit thing and the whole how the pound is now worth nothing. Maybe it's because maybe like, you know what, we're not going to increase the price in the UK because otherwise they'll have to mortgage their house to be able to afford it. But what are your thoughts on this, Chris? Do you, as a PlayStation Plus, well, you were a PlayStation Plus member, I'm assuming you still are, otherwise you can't play games on PS4. What is your thoughts on this?
Yeah, much the same. I think now it costs us, in the States, it costs as much as Xbox Live. And the quality of the games on PlayStation is, and there has been some really good games on there, but it is also quite often a bit pants in too many naff months. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's 40 quid over here. I could see them raising it to 50, which would be a little bit too much. But then you need it to play online, so they've got you in a very sticky situation.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
But you know, maybe it does mean we'll see, like, because back in the day, when it was on and the PS3 was the only thing out, it was like there was like a heyday of Plus that was just brilliant. Like it was kept knocking it out the park every month. Was like something great. And you know, I played Red Dead because of PlayStation Plus. I played Sleeping Dogs because of PlayStation Plus. Yeah, it used to be brilliant. Yeah. Like I mean, there was a point where I wasn't buying games because I was just using PS Plus. Yeah, I guess we'll see. You know, maybe we'll finally start to see some kind of PS4 like big titles come to it, but hopefully, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's a interesting one, and I think it's really interesting that they haven't actually announced a PlayStation. They haven't announced a European increase, but as you said, it's probably going to happen at some point, isn't it? Also, a few more things to announce in the world of Sony. A lot of leaks have come out this week. Another one that actually was revealed, I'm just going to quickly mention this, is that PlayStation Now is going to be available on PC very soon. I believe it's September. So this was leaked online. I think an article was posted on the PlayStation blog by Sony, obviously, and in the HTML code for it, there was a line that said PlayStation Plus coming to Europe, which shouldn't have been in there, and some smart computer person saw it and said, "Oh, look, PlayStation Now is coming to PC," and Sony then had to announce it for definite. So if you want to play your PlayStation 3 games, I think it must be PlayStation 3 games. I don't know PlayStation.
It's all sorts, because you can play quite a lot on there. But I just saw that they've announced as well that there's like a USB adapter, so you can you can use your PlayStation controller to play on the PC.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that's so cool. That's a really clever idea. That I like that. So when's this happening? And let's see if we've got a date. It's very soon. September.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can read up about it. We'll embed a tweet where you can read a bit more. It just says it's coming in parts of Europe soon and North America shortly after. So I guess the adapter comes out in September, so you'd imagine it'll be early September.
Yeah, so this is very exciting. I've still not had the chance to play PlayStation Now on my Vita, but I'm sure I will one day. And it's good that it's coming to PC. It's a shame I'm a Mac owner. Right, so we're going to speed for everything else now, because I realise if we keep going at this pace, we're going to be doing this till about Christmas. So, right, let's go through everything very quickly. So, just want to mention something else, which wasn't in the notes. I'm so sorry, Chris. I'm adding in.
Chris is never going to get to watch Bake Off.
Oh God, I forgot Bake Off. Oh God. Right. Someone at work, who I work with, mentioned this to me, and he said I need to mention this in the podcast. So I'm going to do it. Thank you for him for suggesting this. Are you a fan of Metal Gear Solid, Chris?
Oh, well, I probably would be, but I've never played them.
Have you heard about this new Metal Gear game that's been revealed by Konami?
Yeah, without the main dude involved.
And yeah, so the guy, are you talking about the character or the creator of the series?
Yeah, well, it's without Kojima, both. Isn't it? Because he left.
Yeah, both of them have left. But people are, you need to watch the trailer for this on YouTube, not because of the game, because I've never played Metal Gear Solid either, but the dislikes are absolutely incredible compared to Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters trailer on YouTube. It's got about, I'd probably say 80% negative, 20% positive. So this trailer was revealed at Gamescom, and it's for the new game in the series of Metal Gear games called Metal Gear Survive. And the reason why people are hating on this game is because the game involves you falling into a vortex and fighting zombies. Which apparently
I've just clicked on it on the IGN, because IGN have put the trailer up. Other people have as well, but that's just the first one that came up. 19,000 up, 19,000 thumbs up, 91,000 dislikes.
It's absolutely brilliant.
The percentage is amazing.
And what I think people are annoyed about is, firstly, obviously, it's not. People want Kojima to be the one. Obviously, he's left now, but people feel like the Metal Gear Solid is now ended. I think Kojima's even said that he's finished with it and the story is over. So they're obviously, Konami are still trying to push games out. But what's interesting is that the fact they've gone for a sci-fi alien thing, because these are alien zombies they're fighting, and from what I've been told, Metal Gear Solid isn't about that. It's actually in the real world, isn't it? So you're like an agent, like a army guy, and there's like stealth mechanics and things like that. So people are a bit confused as to why they've taken this route, but there you go. I think if this game didn't have the Metal Gear title in it, so if it was just a new IP, then people probably wouldn't be people wouldn't be hating it at all, because it does actually look, I watched the trailer, it does look very interesting. It reminds me a bit about Call of Duty. It reminds me a bit of Call of Duty Zombies, that sort of feel to it, and the wacky storylines in that. But yeah, a lot of people hating on that. And if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, I know the first few Metal Gear Solid games are available on PlayStation Vita on the PS1 Classic side of the store. So I've never played it, but one day maybe I will. So there you go. Metal Gear Survive, people aren't happy. And if you want to add to the dislikes, go on YouTube and search Metal Gear Survive and downvote it. Right. Oh, God, I've got something else I need to talk about, Chris. It's never ending. It's never ending.
All right, go on, let's do it.
You know what? We're just going to quickly do our app. So we have a segment called 99 Apps, 99 Problems, but an app ain't one, where we download the 99th app on the on our mobile store. We play it and review it. So last week I played Angry Birds Pop, which is not Angry Birds Go, it's Angry Birds Pop. I don't know why I put Go in the Google Hangout, but it's Angry Birds Pop. And I have to say, I don't know what it is with Rovio and their Angry Birds property, but they just make such addictive, colourful, fun games. So Angry Birds Pop is a bubble shooter, match-free game where you have a little shooter at the bottom. You've played millions of these games in the past. You have to match colours, you have to clear the board, there's a set timer, things like that. It's a game you played a million times before, but for some reason, Rovio are just so good at making these games addictive. It's colourful, it's fun. I really am addicted to it. I know it's just an Angry Birds game. It's a bit like Candy Crush. No, I've never played Candy Crush, but I imagine it's similar to that. But for me, what makes these games by Rovio different to these games like these apps like Candy Crush is that it feels to me like there's love has gone into these games because they're so well made. They're really colourful. The art style is fantastic. And for me, these Angry Birds games, all of them are just so well made and really clever, in my opinion, which is what makes them much better than these other games, in my opinion. But I've really been enjoying it. It's called Angry Birds Pop. It's free to download, but of course you can pay to get more lives and things like that. You have a set amount of lives. If you lose a level and you run out of lives, you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can play again. But really been enjoying it. It's on iOS, and I'm sure it's on Android as well. Angry Birds Pop. Go and get it. Chris, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Your Move board games, which is like an 8-in-1 board game thing. It's okay. I'm not too enamored with it, if I'm honest. I've just been playing it just now. It's kind of there's a really good range of board games on here. You can play chess, words, which is basically Scrabble, drafts, 4 in a row, Othello, backgammon, checkers, or Yahtzee, the dice rolling one. But it's like I feel like it could be a million times better if it's just a bit less clunky. It's just the interface is very difficult. I feel like it's not really my cup of tea. I've also found that it's quite difficult to get a game going with people, which is obviously because people are busy and they're not necessarily on and playing with you, and that's fine. But it's frustrating because these sorts of games, some of them you want to be making quick moves. Like you don't want to play a move in like checkers or Connect Four and then come back to it like 4 hours later.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It kind of does the job, but it's not really. I'm probably going to delete it later on. I feel like I played better individual versions of these games.
Fair enough.
So yeah, no, it's fine. What about what's happening in the world of PlayStation, Colin?
But why haven't we downloaded the game for next week, Chris?
Oh yes, sugar plums.
You download the game whilst I'm doing my first story, and then I'll download the game when you're doing your first story. So a few things again from the world of Sony in terms of leaks. So as we know, there is a PlayStation event happening in the first week of September called the PlayStation Meeting. I believe it's on the 7th of September, if I remember rightly, something like that. Yeah, 7th of September in New York. The PlayStation Meeting. No one knows what's going to be discussed there, but everyone thinks it's going to be revealing the PlayStation Neo, which is the brand new, pretty much the PlayStation 4.5 with higher specs and things like that. So people are looking forward to that. But this week, a few leaks have come out thanks to various different sources. But it looks like, and I think this might have been confirmed actually, that in this PlayStation meeting, we haven't had confirmation about the Neo, but it looks like PlayStation and Sony are going to be revealing the PlayStation 4 Slim. Exciting.
So yeah, very.
Obviously, we don't have any specs or anything. We don't know anything about it yet. A few images were leaked online, and it does look very pretty. It's obviously a lot smaller than the original PlayStation 4. I imagine it's probably going to be a bit more powerful in some way, so maybe a bit more memory or something like that. Hopefully, it will also be a cheaper price as well. Obviously, we had no confirmation on any of this yet. But, I mean, I'm really interested in this because I am really keen to pick up a PlayStation 4 at some point. And this PlayStation Slim does look very, very nice, very sexy, very sleek. So, I mean, if it's the right price and, Black Friday's coming around again soon, I may have to have a little cheeky look into this, but we don't have any details on the price or anything like this. But there's a lot of images here on this article from Eurogamer, so we'll embed one of these images so you can get a better idea of what the PlayStation 4 Slim is going to look like. So hopefully we'll have more details on the 7th of September. And right, something more in tune with this podcast theme about handheld gaming is that could Sony be about to reveal a PSP-like device? So on this website, so I'm looking on GamePer.com. Apparently, another leak has happened where apparently a new PSP-like device is going to be revealed very soon. Obviously, we've had no confirmation whether this is related to Sony or PlayStation. So people are thinking, obviously, this could be a brand new PlayStation Vita that's going to be revealed, which would be very exciting. But some people are thinking that this is just in reference to Nintendo's device, which is coming out later next year. So Nintendo NX. That's what people are thinking anyway. So obviously the rumors, this rumor could be that it could be all about there being a PlayStation Vita revamp being about to be revealed. But as I said, it could be something to do with Nintendo NX, which I think has been confirmed that that's going to be a handheld device. I think that's been
sort of. It's kind of these rumors.
So yeah, so personally, I can't see them revealing a new PlayStation Vita. I'd like to be proved wrong. A few people on NeoGAF have made the point that if they do reveal a new PlayStation Vita, it might just be a Japan exclusive device, which would make sense when you think about it, because the PlayStation Vita is still doing quite well in Japan. But I guess we'll find out more on the 7th of September in terms of what PlayStation are up to and what they're working on. But we hope it's a new Vita. It's probably not going to be, and I'm interested to see more details about the PlayStation 4 Slim. Chris, what's happening in the world of Nintendo, and also what game are you going to be playing next week?
I am going to be playing a game called Choices, Stories You Play. It looks
great.
Yeah, it looks pretty magical, right? You can romance this girl called Emily, who's seems nice, or you can reclaim a kingdom, or you can catch a murderer, or you can fall in love with Dominic Hunter, the saucy farmer. It looks like, I think it must be like a portal to get you different interactive visual stories. But yeah, it might be fun. We'll give it a try. But Colin, Nintendo news.
Yes,
that's what you want, isn't it? Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?
I don't know, mate. Working probably.
Well, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to the Insert Coin pop-up store at the Old Truman Brewery, just off Brick Lane, which is quite exciting. So, you know Insert Coin, who make loads of kind of gamer clothes?
Yes.
Well, they have announced that they're going to be doing some pop-up stores in London. It's really exciting. They're here for just under a week. It starts tomorrow, Thursday 25th, and runs through to Tuesday the 30th. There's going to be loads of the new range of Pokemon clothes there, so I just thought it was worth mentioning. I'm going to go down tomorrow, and I'll take some pictures for the old Handheld Twitter, and we'll see how we go.
Please do. That sounds lovely.
Yeah, I'm keen. It's one of those things. It could be great, or it could be a bit pants, but I guess we'll find out, and I will be wearing my Team Instinct jacket. But Colin, that's not the news you wanted to hear, although if you did want to know more about that, you'll be able to click a link on our Facebook, on our article, so you can go to the Facebook page and say that you're attending, because the latest issue of Famitsu, which is that big gaming magazine which get all the scoops, have announced a thing called RPG Maker Fest for the 3DS. Have you heard of RPG Maker?
No, I have not. Tell me more.
RPG Maker is this really great tool for the 3DS. Well, it's originally for the PC, and basically you make an RPG. So you get to design the map, you get to design the characters. It's really exciting. A lot of people love it. There's a lot of great games made on it. A lot of really good kind of popular games started off life on RPG Maker, and they're making a version to go on the 3DS. So you make role-playing games, which you can then share with your friends. You'll be able to upload them online, and people can download them and stuff. There's not really much other information. It's almost ready, apparently. It's 85%, but they haven't said too much about it. We're going to get more information in next week's Famitsu. Watch this space. I don't know if it'll come out over here, but if it does, it'll be really good. Apparently, do you remember that game Corpse Party?
Yes, yeah.
That started off life on RPG Maker. Yeah, I'm interested. I really like RPG Maker. I've fiddled with it a lot on PC, so I'd look forward to playing it on 3DS. And I'll give you another bit of news, Colin.
Oh, please do. Please.
On our website, we are going to embed a link to a little thing called, ukulele.
I've heard of ukuleles.
Ukulele is the best thing in the world. I'm really looking forward to playing it. It's a Kickstarter game made by most of the team who made Banjo-Kazooie, but they're back in a different form, and they're making this game called Ukulele. And there's now about 6 minutes of gameplay footage up on YouTube. Eurogamer put it up, but loads of people have been playing it. It's not actually coming to 3DS. It's coming to Wii U and PS4 and Xbox One and all that. But I just thought I should mention it now because it looks beautiful, and I really want to embed this, and I want everyone to watch it because it looks amazing, and I'm so excited to play this game. It looks like a bit of me completely. I think you'll see it and understand. I can't wait to play it. I'm so excited.
Ukulele. I've just searched ukulele. It's come up with a small guitar. So that's obviously not right. Let me search ukulele game. Oh, very nice. Very easy.
It's a real bit of me. So yeah, it's not 3DS news, but I thought we should talk about it. Colin, what's going on?
Not much. Just chilling. Yeah, you right?
Yeah, no, right, fine.
In the world of Sony, a few things to talk about. So I'm going to quickly rattle off a load of these. So firstly, a new game has been announced from our friends over at Gust, everyone's favourite developer. A new game has been revealed in this week's, or this month's, I guess it's week's, issue of Famitsu. And Denkai, I think it's Denkai PlayStation have released first details on Blue Reflection, Sword of the Girl Who Dances in Illusions. Just the best
I love that
ever.
game.
It's my favourite. And it's coming to PlayStation Vita and PS4. And further details have been released by this. There's been some images released as well. It's the third project as part of Gust's free game Beautiful Girls Festival, which is everyone's favourite music festival, I'm sure. The first project was Atalia Ferris, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Journey. And the second is Knights of Azure 2. And this one's going to be the third project, obviously. So a quick overview. This game depicts girls growing through heartfelt interaction. It is a life-size projection of youth that wavers between the ordinary and the extraordinary with bonds, the substance of interaction between people as its core theme.
Can't wait.
Doesn't that just make you feel nice and warm and fuzzy inside, Chris?
Yeah, I really can't wait.
Great. So a little bit more details released in this week's edition of Famitsu, and that's it basically. But it's a new game coming from our boys at Gus, and they always make good games. They were the people behind the Talia Ayesha Plus, which I played a couple of years ago, which I absolutely loved, the JRPG. There you go. So we've also got some more details on another game that's coming out very soon. Now, this is a game I'm very excited for. It's called Neo Atlas 1469. I've mentioned it a few times on the podcast before. Basically, you play as a sailor, and you have to listen to loads of stories that are given to you by captains and people who explore the world, and you have to decide whether you believe their stories or not. And based on your decisions, a map will be formed. So you create this map of the world by listening to people's stories, and then you decipher whether you think they're telling the truth or they're lying about what they saw. So, for example, if they said, "I saw a 10-eyed monster in the ocean," you're probably not going to believe that. But if someone said, "I saw some land," you're probably more likely to believe that. So it's a very interesting idea, and I'm really actually quite excited for this. But they've released a trailer for it now. This is a gameplay introduction trailer, which we're going to embed on the article for this week's podcast. And the game is due out in Japan on October 27th. If you like the sea, if you like piratey sort of games, if you like to explore, then this might be the game for you. I don't think we've got a Western release date, but I'm sure people out there have got ways of bringing Japanese-only games to Europe and North America. So there you go. So Neo Atlas 1469, and we have a new trailer for it. So go and check that out on heroesofhandheld.com. Right. So now I think it's back over to Chris if he wants to do a bit more.
Okay. I can actually. Yeah. Okay, Colin.
Yes.
Do you remember last week? This is really quick. We talked about the success of the 3DS in July, and there was these kind of rumors it was the best-selling console and all this, that, and the other. Yes. Well, Nintendo have officially confirmed that the 3DS was the best-selling console. They're saying it's mainly due to the rush of people playing Pokemon, as well as Capcom's Monster Hunter Generations. Now, this is really interesting. Compared to July last year, sales of Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire for Nintendo 3DS were up 80%.
Whoa.
On July last year, and sales of Pokemon X and Y were up 200% on last year. So we kind of, there was always an assumption that Pokemon FIFA was happening, but I don't think we'd ever really seen it in numbers. But it's amazing. Look at this. So yeah, this is really interesting. And it's very good to see, and I guess it's good that a lot of people are getting back into Pokemon, because they'll now kind of, play Go, and they'll be like, oh, actually, there's all these new ones to discover. So I just thought it was worth mentioning that. Also, if you're in North America, and a lot of our listeners are, then there is a new summer sale. It's called the Summer Savings Sale on the 3DS eShop. Some good deals on there, including Mario and Donkey Kong Minis on the Move, $7, which was one of our first reviews about 3 years ago. It's a good game. Zelda: A Link Between Worlds is down to $28. Super Mario 3D Land is $21. There's some really good deals on there, so do check out the eShop if you're interested in any of these titles. It's on until September 1st. And finally, Colin, right, I've got a little bit of a puzzle for you. You know when you came to London?
Yeah.
How did you pay to get on the tube?
I used my card.
Was it your contactless debit or credit card, or was it an Oyster Card?
It was my contactless credit card.
But you are aware of an Oyster Card?
I am aware. I do have an Oyster Card, yes.
So what if I told you that in Japan, Capcom are teaming up with a company called JR East Japan Planning? Do you know what they do?
I have no idea. Please tell me.
They make Oyster Cards. And what if I told you that there is a game coming to the 3DS in Japan where you use your Oyster Card to unlock items and communicate with characters?
I would say that's fantastic.
So in Japan, it's called an IC card. It's basically used to pay transport fares. And it's kind of, there's loads of different types apparently. I don't really understand the difference, but all the Japan train stations are set to appear, at least more than 9,000. Capcom are going to be teaming up with local railways and sort of other facilities to take advantage of the game. I don't really know what's going to happen in it. There is one screen grab out at the moment, and it's a girl on a train, and you can swipe your Oyster card. But what a mad concept!
Yes, that is weird. So it's actual Oyster cards. So they have their own version of it in Japan.
Similar, yeah. It's called an IC card. I don't quite know what it stands for. I guess instant charge or something. I don't know. Nuts, absolutely nuts. But it could go either way on this one. But who knows?
Blow my mind, really. I have to move to Japan right away to get in on this.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll come out outside of Japan, but you know,
hopefully. Well, hopefully
who knows?
Yeah, we want this. Imagine if they used Oyster cards like, British Oyster cards. That'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be great, wouldn't it? It'd be nuts, but it'd be great.
Right, so I'm going back on some more news. My end. This is the big news from PlayStation Vita this week. A lot of people unhappy. As you know, a lot of companies over the past few years have said they're bringing their games to PlayStation Vita, and then we just hear absolutely nothing about it ever. And then we get a statement from the company who say, "Oh, it's not coming to Vita now. Sorry, we can't do it. We can't be bothered." Well, we've got another one joining that list, and that is Moon Hunters, which was a game developed by Kit Fox Games, or I should say, is developed by Kit Fox Games. Initially, it appeared on Kickstarter quite a while ago, and they promised that they would be bringing it to PlayStation Vita. It released on PlayStation 4 last month, but in North America, and the European launch is at the end of this month. But the PlayStation Vita version, we hadn't heard anything about, but now we have finally had a quote from the company itself who have said, "It is not happening," which is very sad. So the reason for this is that well, there's a full statement here, but let's see if we can get a brief version of that. So apparently the main reason for the cancellation is due to the engine that they are using, while another is the PlayStation Vita itself. They're quoted as saying, the Vita is more demanding technically than the the PS4 or desktop, but I'm loath to seem like I'm complaining about such a beautiful, well-made piece of hardware. Apparently, to get Moon Hunters to work on Vita, they would have had to permanently remove the character portraits and real-time shadows, and apparently even then, loading times were absolutely intolerable. So they've made the decision to just not bring it to PlayStation Vita. There is a full statement here which was put on a Kickstarter post, on a blog post on their Kickstarter page. They've said that they will refund. I'm just having a look to see what they're going to be doing now. Apparently they're not actually going to be refunding. They're just going to offer people who backed it and wanted the PlayStation Vita version download keys for a different version. So for PlayStation 4 or something like that. Let's see.
It's good in a way though that like if it's broken, that they're not bringing it out and kind of making a crap version of it.
Yeah, but then they could have just outsourced it to another company to do it for them, so a company to port it. Why didn't they just do that? They could have got another company to do it. Apparently, for those seeking a refund, Kit Fox are going to refund the $15 Canadian value of the game key. But since they've delivered on all of the other rewards, we will not refund anything remaining from your pledge. So they're only going to refund the amount of money you paid to actually get the Vita version of it, apparently, which makes sense, really. But they're also going to offer people who haven't got, who wanted the PlayStation Vita versions, on different consoles. So it's not the end of the world. So if you've got a PS4 or another version, you can still play the game. But if not, you'll just be getting a refund for the $15 Canadian, which you had. So yeah, it's very sad. And there is a long statement here, but I'm not going to read it. So if you're looking forward to Moon Hunters, no, I'm afraid it's not coming to Vita now, so sorry about that. Soz. And one final thing from me before I just give up on this, really, is the fact that we have a new game on the PlayStation Vita now called Alone with You. Now, the reason why I'm excited about this is because it's by a guy called Benjamin Rivers, who I'm a big fan of. He was the developer behind the game Home, which I played about a year ago now, which was a horror exploration game, a 2D pixelated horror game where the story was molded by your decisions and what you did. And that was really creepy. It was very creepy, very short game, but very good, very atmospheric and very creepy. Well, this is his second game, and it's called Alone with You. And there's a bit of details here as to what this game is. It's a narrative-focused adventure game for PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4. You play the last surviving member of a doomed space colony, and you need to work together with your troubled AI companion to escape the planet before it implodes. So that sounds really cool, actually. I'm really liking the sound of that. I like space exploration games. The art style is very similar to Home, actually, in its style. But it's coming out to PlayStation Vita. It's actually already out on PlayStation Vita, but the art style looks absolutely fantastic. You can romance people as well, which is very cool. And I have a lot of faith in Benjamin Rivers, because if it's anything like Home, I know it's going to be a very, very good game. And it's good to see that he's still bringing his games to Vita as well. Shows that he's very supportive of the platform, which is always nice to see from these independent developers. So it's available to buy now. It's called Alone with You. Go and download it, and we'll put the launch trailer on the article for this episode of Heroes of Handheld.
Just so you can know, so you can know.
Do it.
What Alone with You is. Yeah, we'll do it. Colin.
Yeah.
You right? You okay, hon?
No, I'm fine, mate. I'm absolutely fine.
You don't do well in the heat, do you?
Really is hot. I'm literally sweating buckets here. I really want some ice cream.
Oh yes, don't. I could well go a beer.
Right, mate. Remember when we met up on Monday and you were like chugging beer? Like, you're right, mate. It's like, you're right, mate.
Everything okay?
You're right. I was worried. I thought, you're having a midlife crisis, just swigging on like a lager. I thought maybe something had happened. I worry about you, mate. I worry.
You're very sweet.
Thank you.
Shall we call it a day?
Have you got any more news?
No.
Thank you for listening to episode 149 of Heroes of Handheld. I've been Colin.
I've been Chris.
A few seconds late there, but we'll roll with it. So thank you for listening to episode 149. We're going to go and take our clothes off and lay naked and rub ice cream into our assholes. But before we do that, we just need to do a bit.
That's grim.
How quick do you reckon it'd take for ice cream to melt that was in your anus? Probably quite quick, wouldn't it? Wouldn't take
is it smooth, or have you got like chunks in there? Is it in the ice cream?
I was going to say, do you mean my arsehole? Do you mean the ice cream? No, I'm sorry, the ice cream that has like the toppings on, with like bits of crumbs and like sauce and things like that.
Not very long at all, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, probably not. Very sticky, though, wouldn't it?
We'll find out soon.
Yeah. Anyway, right. Thank you for listening. You can listen to the all previous episodes of Heroes of Handheld at heroesofhandheld.com. You can find us on Twitter at Handheld Podcast. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitch. Just search Heroes of Handheld on all of those platforms. We're on YouTube. Once again, search Heroes of Handheld, and you'll find all the video versions of the podcast there. And just so you're aware, we are working on some more video content going forward, so look out for that. That should be exciting. So thank you for listening. Anything else you'd like to add, Chris?
Yeah, you need to tweet what your 99 app is going to be.
Oh yes, I've downloaded it. My app is going to be Bingo Blitz, so I'm sure I have plenty of fun stories to say about that.
God. Can't wait.
God. Anyway, thank you for listening, everybody. Back next week. Don't forget, you can email us, heroesofhandheld@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.